I ain't got no hurricane safety tips now. Well, Skellek got, and together we can weather the storm. So, check this. Prepare for power outages. Charge devices before a storm strikes. Develop a plan in the event that electricity goes. Learn where and how to shut off your home's electricity. Ensure that there are no trees in the lines near you. If you are experiencing low voltage, turn off the main switch in your home. Do not touch wet appliances. Be sure to stay tuned to Skellek's Facebook page and website for updates about the outages and restoration. For emergencies, our contact numbers are 465-2013, 661-2013, and 600. I repeat, 465-2013, 661-2013, and 600. Remember, with Skellek's hurricane safety tips, together we can weather the storm.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
Morning, how are we doing this morning? It is another Monday, not a holiday Monday, just a regular Monday. It's Monday the 11th of August 2025. Welcome to today's edition of Island Tea as we wait in anticipation of traffic talk at around 8:30 this morning. We'd just like to welcome you in. If you are listening to us on your radio, we are on your FM dial at 98.9. We're being simulcast on TVC Channel 40, Facebook, as well as YouTube. Just to remind you of the numbers you can reach us at for those of you in the UK. Good morning, UN. It's 0333-440065 or 1-718-285-6984 or 1-305-921-4619 or our local number 4660989. Good morning, Quint. How are you doing this morning?
Well, I'm elated.
Quint says he's happy to have you back.
You sure know how to surprise a guy. You know, I was. Lorraine just came through the door and I said, Hortensia came in and her face just brightened up. She said, yeah. I said, yeah. She surprised me.
Yeah.
I'm here sitting down. I hear, good morning, Quint. So I'm thinking, is there a ghost in here? So I have to go out and make sure. And there she is, live and in living color one day before. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, the little break was nice. It was nice seeing my dad and celebrating his 70th birthday with him.
Oh,
He's made it 7, 3 score years and 10. And it was nice being in the country that can feed itself, but they're gearing up for elections, and if you see the place, they're doing everything they possibly can to secure the bag, secure the win. But let's see what will happen. I pray it's a safe one, but you should see the roads are a mess. They're fixing that. They're building a grand old bridge. They're looking like they're gonna, I hope they don't give up on the other one, because the amount of traffic that Guyana has, I swear I was in New York.
Wow.
Plenty. So
well, thanks for that little bit of a jab that the country that can feed itself.
Yes.
We need to we need to get there too. Yeah, that I like that, that the authorities here that Guyana can feed itself, and we need to do that too. Yeah.
There was so much food, like I was amazed. The fruits, the veggies, I wish I could bring the whole market with me, but I can't. It was too much to eat. I was eating pineapple like there's no tomorrow.
You understand? We're talking healthy food.
Yeah. Shucks, the watermelon, the pine, the tangerine, the oranges, everything's GT. Like, oh my, listen, I ate as much as I could. but I didn't overdo the do. As we said, I drank Morby till it was going out of style. Listen, it was a good couple of few days just catching up with family as well as my
Well,
my dad.
I haven't drank Morby in a long time, and it is one of my favorite drinks. But
Yeah, I like it.
you don't get it the way not much individuals can make it the way
Yeah.
the older folks used to make it with that flavor.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's very true. You know, as I said, everything wash out now.
yeah.
Yeah, everything wash out now. And Quint, I don't know, we neglected. I don't know if you mentioned it afterwards. That on the first was the Christina disaster. I only saw it afterwards, and persons brought it to my attention. Like, you didn't mention anything about it. And I'm like, I didn't know, to be honest. And then I saw an article where someone says there are no monuments in St. Kitts to.
Yeah, we spoke about it recently, and it came up, and I did remind, oh yes, Chesley Hamilton,
Okay.
not this Saturday gone, the one before, he spoke because his topic was emancipation, and that came up, and I reminded everyone that on St. Kitts we've never put
Well,
up
we
a
have
monument.
something. Isn't that the same thing behind the Treasury? The old Treasury building? Isn't that the Christina Monument here in St. Kitts with all the names of the persons that perished?
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it's right in the middle. That's why when I saw that, I said, does this individual know that exists in the back? When it first came up, everybody wanted to take their picture there, etc., etc. It's right behind the Treasury.
Okay, I'd have to scrutinize that. So when you come off of the Bay Road where the cars run, and you go into the Treasury space where there's
Where
that,
they used to have a smoothie bar.
yeah.
So you walk through it.
So it's
There's
in
something
there?
right there that was erected.
And how does it look?
It's whitish. It's like a marble stone.
Okay.
Yeah, and it has the name. So I was surprised when they said there's nothing on there. I don't remember seeing
Well,
it.
it's good that you said that. I
Yeah,
see
I
my
don't
phone.
remember
I see my phone lighting
it
up.
being
so-
moved.
Yeah. Hello, caller.
Good morning, you're live in Allen T.
Good morning, Quint. Good morning. Quint, I see you're missing something there, man.
What?
You're missing the monument. For the
Yeah,
Christina
and
disaster.
yeah, I didn't know that. It's good to know
You're
that,
always
though.
on top of things, you know.
You know.
But don't
So
worry.
that
You're
is
kind
that
of
that
with
is
your
that is
woman.
why I have Hortensia. You know, she keeps me in line, pulls me back on track.
Yes. That's very good. I was reading an article this morning concerning open a new cemetery in Antigua, and somebody break in there and stole some stuff out of it already.
Wow.
So I know that people in cemetery, people are dying to get in, but they're breaking alive and take over what they want. So
Breaking
that's
into a
a very
cemetery.
funny story.
Wow.
But it's interesting to know what humans
Would do.
desire themselves to do.
Yeah.
But interesting to know that we just had a beautiful long weekend,
Yeah.
August weekend, and I hardly heard of any incident that took place. Now it's time for everyone who have a job to go out and work rather than filling time,
Yes.
because one is getting paid, not to show up, but to perform their duties as they're supposed to, because that's what they're being paid to do. And we must look after each other, and we must be compliment each other for the good things that we see, and actually pull them up gently. Be gentle with our words when you find somebody doing something that is wrong.
Yeah.
I noticed that they have moved a garbage bin that they had in the circus. But what actually happened now, when you move something from one place, you start seeing up the garbage other places. So the garbage are now popping up on the street.
Yeah.
People are kicking them in the drain where you can't see them and resting down the bottle in certain places. The easy remedy for that was just to leave it being weighted and move it on a daily basis,
Yeah.
rather than having trash and bottles stick all over the places in different walls downtown. There are ways that we can do things to make things easier for others
Most
and keep
definitely.
our living room clean, because that's our presentation. So we should actually do something like that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, on that,
I was asked if I was asked if I wanted to make an input, and I said, no, not really. I'm learning because even though I'm a student of history, my weak point is St. Kitts and Nevis history.
Oh.
So you sort of amplified that because
Secondly, Quint,
yes,
the gentleman who was here last week, who was in your studio last week concerning the plastic ban issue. Now, you see, this is why I'm saying, you see, my question is, are we not sick and fed up of our politicians lying to us? Because the buck ain't stopped with the gentleman, no. The buck stopped with the politicians, the government. He's just the agent acting on their behalf. Aren't we sick of our politicians lying to us? Or we just love the sweet little lies? Well, I shouldn't say the sweet little lies, the dangerous lies, but make us feel good. The reason why I ask that is this. The gentleman, of course, acting on the behalf of the government, came and told us that the alternatives that we were getting. Now, let me speak to the food container, the styrofoam food container alternative. I could only speak about the styrofoam food container. I can't speak about the rest. He assured us, on behalf of the government, that the alternative that we would be getting would be at least on par with the styrofoam food container. He assured us that over and over again. Last time he even brought alternatives to show us that, hey, the alternatives are just as good.
The last time he was here, did you call in? I don't think you did.
I tried and I didn't get you now.
Because because I told him.
Yeah, he got in one time, because I remember him getting in one time. I don't know if he managed to get in the next time.
Yeah, the Queen said last time, I thought he meant, it was Friday gone or something like that.
The last time he was here, yeah, I think it was Friday.
Yeah, the first.
I didn't get in. I didn't get in.
He came last Friday when I wasn't here?
Afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so I wasn't here then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was talking about the first, Greg, so I apologize.
because
for that.
because
yes, I did get in at that time.
yeah, because
but
if I was a betting man, you would have made me lose some money, man. Because I swore to him, I said if it's one person gonna call, it's Greg, and Greg didn't call. Greg said let Quinn take that, you know.
no, I tried, Quinn. That's right, but I failed. I tried.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that the time before the last time, the second to last, he brought some alternatives.
Yes.
Okay? And at least where the food cup, because I can't speak to the cups, and so I can't speak because I don't know about them. But at least where the food container, the alternative food container is concerned, he assured us that, hey, it's just on par as the styrofoam container. Now, Friday, when you told him what I said, he said, well, we are in the learning. We are learning. We are in the learning process. Well, that ain't went over well with me. Because he assured us over and over again that the alternatives are just on par. And yet, we see now that where the food container is concerned, I ain't know about the rest, but where the food container is concerned, it is inferior and it is more expensive. And I bought something last night and it even looks smaller to me than the styrofoam food container.
Okay.
And
Well, the next time he gets here, make sure that you get in.
Well, Quint, it's all by the hands of Jesus Christ. I tried, but there's no guarantee that I would get in. But
Okay.
It's still all good. It is still all good, Quint. No complaints. Still all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take care.
But our politicians need to stop lying to us, and we need to not be tolerating it. Thank you.
I agree. Let's take a bit of a commercial break because we already have at least one of the officers here. So it's 1 minute to, might as well take that break right about now.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Here are your hosts for Value Mart IGA Special.
Running June 26th to July 9th.
Now, our Value Club Blue Tag Specials. Kraft barbecue sauces are just $7.99 each. Essential Everyday Vegetable and Canola Oil, $13.99. Essential Everyday Shredded and Chunk Cheeses, $7.99 each. Banquet Breakfast Sausages, $7.99. Essential Everyday Fries are just $14.99. Essential Everyday Disposable Containers, $15.99. And now our very low weekly
Value deals. IG and essential everyday peanut butter, creamy and crunchy, $8.99. Essential everyday pasta, $4.99. IGA or essential everyday salad dressing, $9.99. Essential everyday oats, quick and old-fashioned, $15.99. The AM toothpaste, $4.99. Nature Valley granola bars, $12.99. Shop smart, shop value mart. Tell them in Spanish.
sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
We run things, things are on we.
$99. Nature Valley granola bars, $12.99.
Easy and free. The problem isn't with the airbag, it's with the airbag inflator. Because the inflator can rupture, shooting shrapnel through the airbag, which can cause serious injury or even death. Don't risk it, fix it.
Please contact TDC Automotive Division to find out if your Toyota vehicle is affected by the Takata airbag recall. Visit or call us at 465-2511 in St. Kitts or 469-5430 in Nevis.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
And we are back on Island Tea, and as promised, we have the officers in studio with us. We have our favorite traffic officer, I don't care, that's my favorite traffic officer, Miss Shiverton Liebird, or I don't know. Constable Bell is coming along nicely, but I've known this young lady. I've known this young lady, with the white glove. She does it best. Just like how we know the other officers write her tickets best. Yes, that is Officer Allison. Good morning. Officer Donnelly does it best too when it comes to traffic. Yes. So good morning and welcome back.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good
morning, Mr. Bell, and how are you?
I'm fine.
And then you had a working weekend. How was it?
I was just explaining it.
Yes, this was Bell's weekend to work.
Oh, boy.
And so I hope he had a lot of work to do. Because now he's on rest day for a couple of days. So time for him to rest.
Okay,
but I'm still here.
And we appreciate that.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we want to thank you, dear God, for another day, a brand new day. Thank you for the weekend pass. Thank you, dear God, for life itself, giving us another chance to breathe, giving us another chance to just love life and to give you thanks. We want to bless the persons who are listening to this program, all those persons out there in Radio Land, wherever you are. We are asking God grace and guidance upon you as you traverse wherever your destination is today. And as you listen to the radio program, may what we say here may not fall on deaf ears. Information well received. All these blessings we ask in your name and no other name. Amen.
Amen.
So good morning again to those persons out there in Radio Land. We are here once again with our traffic talk to give you information, to listen to your critiques, your criticisms, and your suggestions and comments, and to give you some information concerning the CPL that is coming up on the 14th to the 21st of August 2025. And so we will ask Mr. Bell to kind of give us the traffic plan that we have in place for the persons who will be traveling or who will be going to the CPL. Even you will not be going, you might know someone, a friend, a family member, and so you can pass the information along. And like we always say, the information is also on our Facebook page, and so we're asking you, those persons who are into social media, to just post the traffic plan on your status so that persons can see and have an idea as to what will be happening during the course of the week.
I wonder who tell Donnelly about status.
Because he knows I'm not into social media like that.
Yes, thanks Donnelly for that. Yes, the cricket will be held at the Warner Park. The adjustments are as usual, but we still have to come and update the public. So we have partial road closure, one ways only. You know, Lozak Road in general, it's a one way. You can only travel from east to west. East Park Range, traffic flows from north to south, so you can only travel downwards on that road. Park Lane, that's north of NHC, between East Park Range and Wellington Road, you can only travel from East Park Range towards Wellington Road. You cannot come to. There would be signs restricting persons from coming from east to west along that road. No parking zones. Victoria Road, the east side between Bastia High and Lozak Road. So from after you pass Amir Bakery, go right up to the Bastia High School grounds.
Yeah.
There will be no parking on the right side of the road if you're traveling up. Okay? Park Range between Bastia High and Lozak Road. That's East Park Range, the same area where there's a gate from the old Bastia High School. Go right down to Lozak Road, there will be no parking permitted. Okay? The only persons we allow to park there sometimes are the residents.
Okay.
You know, because we understand that we inconveniencing them, and we go around and we speak to the residents before, because we give them their car pass. Okay? So you cannot just come and say, hey, I live here. You know, you have to have that pass. And we go around to the residents physically to ensure that. Oh, the traffic flow changes, northbound on Victoria Road, westbound on Lozak Road, eastbound on Park Lane, north of NHC, and southbound Park Range. So you can only drive down Park Range, as I said. You can only drive east between there by NHC. You can only drive west along Lozak Road, and you can only travel north along Victoria Road. It's the same thing when we have music fest, any other major events in that area. But we have to come and tell the public still. The parking instruction. The general public parks on the street in non-restricted areas. VIP and government official park along Lozak Road. Team and match officials park east of the old pavilion. The Governor General Organizing Committee sponsors park the tennis court parking lot that's inside by Carnival Village area. Okay? No parking inside Warner Park. So that's just the information. Vehicle passes are required to access the designated parking areas. For example, if you want to park on Lozak Road, you must have that vehicle pass. Even though the Governor General vehicle might have, well, we could accept that with the crown on it. Everybody knows it. But any other government official, once they are permitted to park there, they must have that sign on their vehicle. Because it's not all the officers going to know who vehicle it is. Yes. And sometimes they might not come with the vehicle that the officers normally see them in. So they have to have that pass to, avoid any inconvenience or any, confusion. Because the officers are going to be strict with their instructions.
And just to kind of reiterate what Mr. Bell said about the parking. The parking inside of Warner Park, there will be parking inside of the Warner Park area, but you must have that designated parking spot. Some persons have a tendency to, for example, there are maybe about 16 to 20 designated parking spots. They are numbered 1 to 20, for example. and some person might get a number 2, and he or she will park in number 16, giving number 16 an issue when he or she comes to park. So whatever number that is allotted to you, make sure you use that number to the allotted parking that is inside of the Warner Park, so it don't create any confusion, doesn't create any more work for the officer. Because if you are supposed to park in lot 3 and you park in lot 1, the officer now has the job to now go and find the owner of that person who is parked in the area where he or she is not supposed to park. So it creates a little kind of, I will not say confusion, but some persons maybe you're in a hurry and you want to get to where you want to get, but then you have to wait to find the person who is in your parking spot. So let us avoid situations like those. The residential parking, Mr. Bell would have touched on that as well, and like he rightfully said, we haven't done that yet, but we will go to the residents and ask them to give us the same leeway that they did when we had the music festival, where we would right, and the game that we would have had before. There will be cones in the area, and so we are asking the persons living in that area. You will see us, because we will come to you, asking you to be lenient with us again in the parking in your yard space where necessary. And so we were very grateful when we had the music festival. There was no problem whatsoever with the residents, and so they were privileged enough to get their pass and move right to their parking areas without any problems. Those on Lozak Road, and those persons who live on East Park Range, they too would have parked inside of their garage. Now, parking on Lozak Road, there are some persons who are drivers of officials who are entitled to park on Lozak Road. And we have persons who have a tendency to, just because they are the driver of whomever, they can park how they want and where they want. And so we are asking again, traffic wardens, police officers will be in place on these particular nights. And so just be guided. Now, let's say, for example, you are the driver of a particular minister of government, and you are not working on that particular night, and you have your own private transportation. That does not give you the right to come and use that information and say to the officer, "Oh well, I'm Tom Jones' driver. I'm not working tonight, and you can park." No, that parking area is not designated for you. When you're doing official driving, then you get the permission to use that space. And so we don't want persons to breach the authorities and kind of try to use their offices to operate a particular way. We want us to follow the guidelines and the rules that is outlined for this event.
And just to add to what Donnelly said, sometimes I'm the officer who go around and put all the signs in place, and when the time I'm ready to come and lime now, I can't park. So I have to be like the regular person and find the designated parking areas. I don't try to abuse the power.
Right. Yep. And so for that, we would hope that person would understand, and when we get to another radio program on Wednesday, we would outline again so persons can get the information out there. And CPL is nothing new to any one of us. The rules remain the same, and so persons just be guided. And so tow trucks will be in place. And so for those of you who have extra money to spend, if you want to put your vehicles in the area where they will be towed, then that is on you. Because we have already come to you, you know the information. CPL is not new to St. Kitts, it's not new to the Warner Park area, and so we have new drivers, yes. New persons will be coming to the Federation, so we are asking those persons who are renting vehicles to persons, so even give them that information so that they can be guided where they should be parked when it comes to the CPL.
I agree to that 1,000%.
So the Bell smiling like he had to tow some rentals already.
We have to tow rentals, we have to give rentals ticket, all kind of stuff, because persons come, they're visitors.
Yes.
I can genuinely understand that they may not have heard the traffic flow information, because sometimes the signs that are in place are the different information that we have, because it's a temporary change.
Yes.
So the visitors come and they drive, they rent rentals, and all the rental company more focused on is getting paid.
Yeah.
They don't, advise the drivers them and give them information, tell them, hey, they're going to be having cricket going on around this time. Try to avoid parking anywhere in the perimeter of the venue. Try to find somewhere where you don't see any yellow lines or any sign, because the person they're going to come, they're going to see persons parking illegally, and then they're going to feel like, okay, well, we could park here too, because they're not from here, they're not sure. But that person who parked in front of them might have just jumped out to go and collect something. By the time they come back, they move because they know they're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
But that person who parked behind of them, feeling that, it's okay, gone into the game, and when they come back, they're going to either feel like somebody stole the vehicle or something, because the tow truck is going to go with it.
Okay.
Yes, we'll take the call.
Caller, go ahead. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Hi, good morning, Donnelly officer.
Good morning.
I think maybe I missed the fact that it might be true that Donnelly outlined an alternative parking for that moment, that time. Did you? I guessing which one?
What's the question, sir? Sorry.
Did you recommend an alternative place for parking?
No, we didn't. But
not in my imagination. Because normally we'll hear somebody say, you cannot park here, because we have taken away all this parking, we recommend that you park X, Y, Z. That's what I was looking for. But I think you will bring it in eventually. Maybe I'm a little bit ahead of you.
Thank you for information. That's very tricky. I know the call is trying to tell us, Donnelly, you did not give us any.
Yes.
It's trying to say, the call is trying to say, Donnelly, so if I cannot park around the park, where should I park? And thank you very, very much, caller, for that. There isn't any designated area like they had when there was music festival.
A lot of people park in the...
But there were so many places that you can park. There is the Horsford parking that you can use. There is the...
what about the Bastille High School grounds, no?
Well, I'm not the Bastille High, the Beach Island.
Oh.
There is parking in that area, and there is also the same parking that they would have used for music festival down in Port Zante.
Yeah.
That no one would have given us the information as to say you can park, but those areas are always almost open. And so I think that persons can use their initiatives and park properly, because you will not have an officer, so to say, to guide you to park. And so just park within lighting area. Make sure the place is well lit, and so that you don't have any braking, and also make sure that when you park, you're not obstructing another driver. So you may be ready, you may want to stay until the entire game. Somebody may only want to see a piece of the game, and the way you park is hindering the person from getting out, and so we have to be mindful of that.
And by the time we're trying to call the owner, because of the noise and stuff like that, the person is not answering the phone. So it creates a problem for us as the officer and the civilians who are trying to get out. Yeah, and we have had those issues previously, because sometimes you go into the park because there's so much people in there. The service is poor. So if you're trying to call whoever is at the venue, you're not getting them, especially for music festival. And that's why we have to resort to towing. So it's not that we just want to get up and tow people's vehicle, but we have to work in timing. And if we're not getting the person and they're not coming, we have to move them by force.
And so once you're properly parked, park in an area that you don't have any obstruction, then we won't have to bother you, and neither does the tow truck. Which brings us to the temporary driver's license. And before I get to the driver's license, I want to touch base with not only the rental companies like TDC and Hertz and Bullseye. We have local persons who are renting, and so you too have an obligation to have a conversation with the person that you're renting to when it comes to the instructions or the information that they should get concerning the CPL. Which brings us to temporary driver's license. And this is so timely, this topic that we chose, not bearing in mind or not focusing so much, knowing that we are having CPL and persons will be renting vehicles. We just, temporary driver's license just struck us to have a conversation this morning, but it is so timely. Companies and individuals who have rent vehicles, who are leasing vehicles, who are renting, please to be mindful that one cannot drive in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis if they do not have the appropriate license. We have had too much instances where persons are driving without driver's license. The persons who can drive without getting a temporary driver's license are those persons who are OECS nationals, those persons from Grenada, St. Lucia, Tortola, Anguilla, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Antigua and Barbuda, Montserrat. So those persons, you do not have to have a temporary driver's license from the traffic department or even at Inland Revenue. Once you have that overseas driver's license and it is valid, you can drive. You can go to any of the outlets that sells temporary that rents vehicle, and you can just rent having that driver's license. Now, you persons who are renting, you have to make sure that these persons they present to you a driver's license.
A valid one.
I like that one.
Yes.
Go ahead, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Sorry to come back here again, darling, but you look like you're missing something. The thing that you're missing is that no one is supposed to receive a key for a vehicle unless the owner see that valid driver's license, because you're just as responsible to put that person behind the wheel, just like the person who will be responsible for driving without a driver's license. I hope I'm having enough for the day.
Caller. Yes, and Mr. Bell would have just said to me, the driver's license must be valid, because anyone can have a driver's license.
And there's a charge, actually. Anyone who permits someone to drive and their driver's license is not valid, then automatically they're not covered by insurance. And there's a charge for permitting another to drive when not covered by insurance.
So the charge goes on to the person that's renting the vehicle.
The person who's renting the vehicle and the person who is driving. Because they're obligated to ensure that they have the required credentials before they drive. Ignorance to the law is no excuse. So even if you say you don't know, it's on you to know.
Yes, and what we are doing in recent times is that we are trying to go around to all the different companies to have them, get the information as to what is required. And just like 2 weeks ago, Thursday, we would have had a meeting with the truckers, and we too will have a meeting with the persons who rent vehicles so that we can all be on the same page. We're just trying to, whatever errors that we would have made, we're now trying to put things in place, because there is a law. There is a law, there is policies, but some persons are just not familiar. And just like Mr. Bell just said just now, you can't go around and be in a rent of a vehicle and don't know the information. You must be in accordance. As a matter of fact, you too should have that 15.06 Traffic Act. Like your Bible, that should be on your phone, it should be in your hand, it should be in your head, you should have it for the persons who are renting from you. They must have the information. Now, persons for temporary driver's license who comes to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, and you have a driver's license from, let's say, India, Jamaica, Haiti, those persons, Trinidad and Tobago, the American driver's license, Canada, you must come to either the traffic department or Inland Revenue in order for you to obtain a temporary driver's license. Now, a temporary driver's license is something temporary. It is not for locals per se. We extend the courtesy to locals for someone who has never had a St. Kitts and Nevis driver's license, and so they go to the US, get a driver's license, and they now want to come back to St. Kitts to drive. And so we allow you a 3 months temporary driver's license. Persons come to the department and they say, "Oh, how come I cannot get?" Because we issue a 1 year temporary, and we also issue a 3 months temporary. Now, someone who was born in St. Kitts and Nevis, who have never ever had a St. Kitts and Nevis driver's license, would say to us at the office, "How come I cannot get a 1 year temporary driver's license?" Because you are a national. You were born in St. Kitts and Nevis, and the driver's license, it's a temporary driver's license, not for locals, visitors only. But we extend the courtesy to give you a 3 months, seeing that you would have gone overseas, gotten a driver's license, and so we extend the courtesy. So don't make it an issue. Now, if you want to get the St. Kitts driver's license, we're not going to hinder you. What we're asking you to do is to come to the traffic department. You now have to get an instructor who would now take you on a road test. We're not going to put you to the written exam, but once you have that overseas driver's license, you get an instructor, we give you the road test, and there is no hinder for you to get the St. Kitts Nevis driver's license. The temporary driver's license, if you have an overseas driver's license, whether it is valid or not, and you would like to obtain a St. Kitts Nevis driver's license, you can come to the traffic department again, and you get an instructor, and you can obtain a St. Kitts Nevis driver's license. That is whether or not your driver's license is valid. Now, for those persons who are obtaining a St. Kitts Nevis driver's license temporary via having an overseas driver's license, without doing a road test, there is a procedure. Once you have 3 of those temporary driver's license that says 1 year, and we can quote color because there's always just 2 colors. The yellow is the 1 year, the pink is the 3 months, white. Once you would have accumulated 3 of those yellow ones, having your stay, your status, whether it is work permit, temporary residency, you go to school. Once you have those 3 1 year, you would automatically be allowed the St. Kitts Nevis driver's license without doing a road test. Now, the 3 months, some person may ask, so how do I get one of those St. Kitts Nevis driver's license if I only have the pink ones? You must have at least 12 of the pink ones in order for you to get the same privilege, because 4 pink represents 1 yellow. So if you have 2 yellow and 4 pink, if you have 12 pink, but you must also have your status on the island in order for you to get that temporary driver's license. Now, temporary driver's license, again, those persons who go to the different companies, you have to make sure and scrutinize those driver's license carefully. Because some persons are very wise. You know, we have all AI and A1 and A2 and A6. And let me tell you something. We have to be very mindful. Yep. Now, you find that persons are making their own driver's license. And so, even we can, and next time we come to the program, we would bring some of the examples that we have of persons who would have made their own driver's license. And if you're not very vigilant and observant, you may miss something.
Just recently, I gave you one.
A fake license?
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. And that is the very reason for some countries like Jamaica, India, Santo Domingo, you must come to traffic department. You cannot get that license from anywhere else but the traffic department, because we have to make sure that the driver's license is authentic. And if you don't look carefully, trust me.
Wow.
Yep.
And so we are asking the persons who, the owners of businesses and those local guys who are renting, once someone comes to you with a driver's license, please to make sure that you take a very good look at the driver's license, because once you've already handed them that driver's license and they're on the road, you will not know unless we, the police officer, may stop you for some reason, and then they will not even pull out their overseas license and give you. They're going to bring the St. Kitts license because you already gave it to them, and so they would produce that. So you know, as a person who is renting the vehicles, to make sure that you're on top of your game when it comes to driver's license. You have to be very careful.
Just to add to Donald, because I'm watching the time, what I realized she didn't say though, we have an issue where persons who have obtained a Kittitian license, locals who have traveled overseas, migrated, they come back maybe after 10 years or what's not, and they want to obtain a permit. They want to obtain a permit because they have an overseas license now, but they also have a Kittitian license. They must renew their license, the Kittitian license.
Okay.
Because if we hand them a permit, then we are only putting in our system that they have 2 licenses for St. Kitts. So if they have a Kittitian license before, because we check in our system, even if it's expired for 10 years, you have that proof in your passport to show that you was overseas for that 10 years, you can get that waiver at Inland Revenue. But you must go to Inland Revenue and renew your Kittitian license. We will not give you any permit.
Okay.
And Bell keeps saying Kittitian, and I just want him to know that we are a federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yeah. I see Obi Paul. I don't want him to use it as me. So St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yes, St. Kitts and Nevis.
St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yes.
Federal.
Federation, yes, the federation.
And so we want the persons to just be mindful, because you being the person who is giving the person the license, you have an obligation. We are working together as a team, and so to make our work, make your work easier, to make your work easier, as to make our work easier, and make you not having us to come and investigate you. You have to make sure that things are in order and in perspective. And like Mr. Bell says, once you have a St. Kitts Nevis driver's license, it doesn't matter how long. Once our system clearly shows that you have a St. Kitts Nevis, because we check, and once you have that license, you must renew it. Some persons say, oh, well, I only renewed it. I renewed it since 2010. Once we have the information that you were living abroad, you went to study, we give that waiver. So that can happen.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, caller, go ahead. You're live in Traffic Talk.
Yes, hello. Yes. You see, the call was cutting out a bit. Well, I would like to ask a question. Did the officer said people were making fake St. Kitts Nevis driver's license?
No,
we didn't say that.
We didn't say that.
Okay. I just called to what fake license were they making overseas?
Overseas.
Yes.
Overseas license.
Persons who come into the federation
with fraudulent license.
Oh, okay. And what would be the charge for that?
That you will be charged. You'll be going to you will go to the magistrate court
for fraud,
yes,
and other traffic offences.
The magistrate is going to add his fees.
I guess what I meant to ask, what would be the penalty? I think that is what I really meant to ask.
Yeah. The penalty determined on the magistrate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
One thing I forget to mention before we leave, though, is that international driver's license are not permitted in our federation. International driver's license, international driver's permit. we don't accept those.
If the persons come with a book.
Yes, you must have that.
But they have saying it's on it, so I don't know why.
You must have we're not. It's not a part of our laws or regulations. And so we're out of time now, and we want to thank WinFM for always accommodating us. We want to thank those persons who would have called in. Thank you so much. Our program is never the same without your indulgence, and whether it is critique, compliments, suggestions, comments, we are always grateful. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great week. Enjoy your day.
Yes, and slow down.
Yes, please.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
St. Kitts and Nevis, it's time to celebrate! We're raising our glasses and saying cheers to 20 years as your trusted telecommunications provider. And because we love our amazing customers, we're giving you the chance to win. Every week, we've got exciting prizes just for you. And that's not all. Step into a cash vault for a shot at $2,000 in cash. To qualify, switch to Digicel, activate a 3-day plan or higher, pay your bill in full, sign up for postpaid or a new Digicel Plus internet package. Stay connected, keep enjoying the best service, and get ready to win. 20 years strong, and we're just getting started. Visit a Digicel retail store today.
From the time that you taste it, man, you know that it's greatness. Some ice in your cup, tell your friends link up. You know that we liming. Signal the bartender. No, we don't need chaser. But if you want, it could mix with anything. We drinking Stones ginger wine, the original ginger wine. We drinking like I say, Stones ginger wine. Greatness is forever.
Carib Festa is connections, community, and unity. It is understanding each other without saying a word. Separated by water, united in purpose. One voice, one story, one song. Carib Festa is we thing. Come for Carib Festa 15 in Barbados. Book your stay now at visitbarbados.org/Carib Festa.
Got itchy palms? That's a sign. Money could be coming your way with Scratch and Win from Caribbean Lottery. It's the easiest way to win instantly. No waiting, no fuss. With tickets starting from just $2 up to $20. Win over $35 million in prizes. The higher the price, the bigger the prize. So scratch today for your chance to win up to $200,000. Available at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be 21 years and older to play.
Carib Festa is the whole region looking good, and the whole road is rerun with. It's in the way we walk, it's the way we talk, it's the way we move. We ready for the world, and when we step out and pose just so, it's pure style and fashion. Look away! Come for Carib Festa 15 in Barbados. Book your stay now at visitbarbados.org/Carib Festa.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
When can I open my eyes?
Not yet. Okay, open. Do you see what I see?
It just looks like land to me.
It's our land, son. A wise investment that will grow with you.
Invest in land with CIBC Caribbean and we'll give you US $250 towards your valuation cost and 50% off your loan application fee. With CIBC Caribbean land financing, you can choose to build, hold, or pass on to your children. Visit CIBCCaribbean.com to learn more. Conditions apply.
More than 42 million cars from 19 different car companies are being recalled for faulty airbag inflators. Repairs are fast, easy, and free. The problem isn't with the airbag, it's with the airbag inflator. Because the inflator can rupture, shooting shrapnel through the airbag, which can cause serious injury or even death. Don't risk it, fix it.
Please contact TDC Automotive Division to find out if your Toyota vehicle is affected by the Takata airbag recall. Visit or call us at 465-2511 in St. Kitts or 469-5430 in Nevis.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
And we are back on Island Tea and Quinn.
And we have a caller.
Alrighty then. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island Tea.
Hi, good morning.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. We actually I tuned in late to the program, so I guess I missed your report on your visit to Guyana. I would have been interested in your route there. Was it? Did you arrive same day?
No, that's the part.
No?
I had to overnight in Antigua, and then it was an early morning departure from Antigua to Guyana, which was nice. We left around 6:35, and we got there around 8:35. It was a straight 2-hour flight on their jet service. Yeah, Liat. Yeah, but you have to overnight. It was myself and a couple others that came from the BVI as well. Nothing straight anymore. Well, there is a straight with Caribbean Airlines, but you don't leave Trinidad until 12 a.m. the next day. So it's basically this, it seems straight, but it's the same thing. Yeah, because you leave here after 2, you go to Antigua, you go to Trinidad, you sit down, and then, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess.
You still get there the next day, irregardless.
And it's good to hear you, Mr. McMahon, because he made a hiatus when you left. You know.
Oh, boy.
This is his first.
What's that?
He said you were missing while I was missing, so he's happy to hear
Really?
you.
I didn't notice that. You sure about that, friend?
Quinty asked if you're
Because
sure about that.
I'm sure.
He's joking. Well, probably that's true because I was battling a bit of a flu.
Oh, okay.
Well, good that you're recovering.
You're doing better?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good stuff.
I was interested to in how long before this did you go to Guyana?
2020.
Okay, right. So, with your impression, so basically you've been there. This is the first time you've been back since
COVID.
The oil boom.
Yes, yeah, since the oil boom. Well, since the oil boom, because now I see they're producing 900,000 barrels a day.
Yeah.
They hit some. They have. They found some other oil platform. So Guyana's, as I said, the roads, they're making them wider. The roads are bigger. There's a lot of infrastructure. They still can do plenty more, but as I told Quint at the start, I think most of the work that they're doing now is for elections, because remember, elections is on the 1st. They have a harbor bridge that they are building. The bridge look like something you see in New York.
That's the one to replace that rickety thing that you had.
But why you have to call me bridge rickety now? I enjoy going over the rickety thing because it reminds me of my younger days in Guyana. Yes, they're replacing that.
How dare he call you a bridge
I know, my bridge rickety. I like the songs because it actually makes a song, Quint. You should hear it. Make crook as you go over. So, yeah.
When you're going over that bridge, you feel like you could fall in
But
it.
it sounds,
no time.
But Mr. McMahon, it sounds rickety.
It sounds rickety, but it's not rickety. But yeah, they're building the structure that they're putting up now, because it's not going to open, because it's a full concrete structure. They've built it with the height of ships in mind so that it can pass under. Because, when the bridge does open, the rickety bridge, according to Mr. McMahon, the floating bridge, when that opens, it opens for an hour and a half. And let me tell you, I did not know Guyana had so much traffic. Because most times when I flew, I just went to the airport and then we left early in the morning. So we were hardly caught up in the traffic. And we stopped going to the international airport, which I had to go into. We went to the Ogle Airport after doing survey, and most customers said they prefer the Ogle Airport because it was closer to most destinations in Guyana versus the Tamari, the Chedijagan International Airport in Tamari.
And she didn't hesitate to boast about all the food she ate and how Guyana can feed itself.
Oh boy, yeah.
You'd expect that.
Yeah, plenty,
you know.
plenty.
But well, it sounds though that the oil well is trickling down.
I can't say that because I saw an article where the APNU party is saying that most of the contracts that are presently out are given to certain people, but they are planning to give everybody a piece of the pie. Let's see how that goes. Because, everybody says everything nice until they get in, and as Greg would say, they fool us. But let's see. But
Greg, politicians, you'll never get over politicians lying. I mean, it seems as if they embrace it with a badge of honor. Instead of going trying to be different, they go in basically trying to be like the politicians before. Outdo them. But, I guess that's a factor left. But it's at least good to know that you basically had choices, right, in terms of using Caribbean Airlines or Liat.
Yeah. Or go up to the U.S. and come.
Right?
Inter-Caribbean as well goes there, because whilst I was waiting for Leah to depart yesterday morning, Inter-Caribbean left before. That was the first Caribbean connection to leave. Then we left, and whilst we were leaving, I heard them announcing Caribbean Airlines departure. But Caribbean Airlines normally does the jet to Trinidad, and then they disperse accordingly.
So you had a choice, and Liat was the
because of my last-minute decision, I really didn't have a choice, so Liat became my choice. Because I wanted to go on Cal, but it was not available because flights are selling out to get to Guyana.
Okay. Did you use your Liat privileges?
No, I don't have privileges anymore. Those are out the door since Liat closed the door.
I could imagine so.
Yeah. You have to buy a full fare. And I ended up actually on cheapo air. I was a bit skeptical, but my cheapo air worked well because with third parties, once something happened with the carrier, you become liable because sometimes getting back to them, it's a lot of back and forth. So I was happy that my trip went well, and kudos to cheapo air.
So actually, you, in as a person as well, in the travel business, so to speak, you actually recommend going through like Travelocity and Cheapo Air?
No, that's what I just said. No. Under no shape, form, or circumstance would I recommend anybody, because I've had customers that had a lot of problems with those. That's why when I had to eventually turn to that, I was, when I tell you, skeptical and afraid, but the Lord worked with me and everything worked out fine. Will I take that route again? No, I will buy my ticket early. No. But as I said, I didn't really have plans. But after certain situations in my life, I'd be like, let me go just in case. Yeah. So that's why I ended up with the cheapo air situation, because it was very, when I tell you very last minute, that's what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, I won't.
Good tip.
If it works for persons, they can use it, but I won't recommend it. I recommend you buy straight from the airlines. If anything happens, the airline is responsible for you, because third-party stuff, when you come to the counter, we cannot help you with it. You have to go through cheapo air, and it's call after call after call after call. And when you make mistakes on your booking too with those places, charges go on. So you have to pay to change. If you make a name change, you have to pay. So, yeah, to each his own.
Well, good tips. Good tips. All right, then.
All right, Mr. McMahon, thank you.
Okay, take care. And let's take a bit of a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
When can I open my eyes?
Not yet. Okay, open. Do you see what I see?
It just looks like land to me.
It's our land, son. A wise investment that will grow with you.
Invest in land with CIBC Caribbean, and we'll give you US $250 towards your valuation cost and 50% off your loan application fee. With CIBC Caribbean land financing, you can choose to build, hold, or pass on to your children. Visit CIBCCaribbean.com to learn more. Conditions apply.
Rams the good food people always
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
And we're back on Island Tea. And Quint, you have anything to bring to the fore? Because there's something here I wanted to speak about when it comes to Israel and the Gaza. You realize they killed 5 journalists?
Go right into it. Look, when it comes to Israel, Israel is going to keep doing what it's doing because the rest of the world has empowered it. And all of the media around the world, BBC, US, all over, they're basically the same. If they wanted Israel to change, their rhetoric would be different. Go ahead.
As it says, they killed 5 journalists, and these journalists, apparently it was a targeted attack, and all this information comes from BBC.com. For those of you who would like to go and take a read, it says 5 Al Jazeera journalists killed in Israeli strike in Gaza, and this article is 4 hours ago. It says the targeted assassination on Sunday was yet another blatant and premeditated attack on press freedom. It says the Committee to Protect Journalists said it was appalled by the attack. It also says that since the war started, Israel has not allowed any international bodies to come in to cover what is happening. So the international bodies were dependent on these correspondences here to tell them what was happening in Israel. So it says, throughout the war, Israel has not allowed international journalists into Gaza to report freely. Therefore, many outlets rely, as I said, on local reporters within the territory for coverage. It goes on to say, and quote, they were targeted in their tent. They weren't covering from the front line. Mo Awad said of the Israeli strike, the fact is the Israeli government is wanting to silence the coverage of any channel of reporting from inside the Gaza, he told the newsroom program. This is something that I haven't seen before in modern history. So condolences to the family of the 5 journalists that lost their lives. As the young gentleman mentioned, I'm going to assume he's young, whether he's young or not. It's just sad that they don't want what's happening there to be covered. And it just seems like they just want to wipe out everybody and just do what they need to do. And that's sad because more and more I see people are dying from malnutrition over there. People are either going to get food and being attacked. It's just madness.
You know why I say the rest of the world wants this to happen? And I'm not going to make any apologies. They want it to happen because recently,
to benefit
every
who?
time,
What? Why?
because they are aligned with Israel, because it's this biblical thing. Anyway, what I was going to say is this: even most recently, there's been a whole lot of protests in Israel itself. Right, the Israelis, especially those who have families who are hostages, are saying that Netanyahu has been using this hostage thing for his own benefit, and he doesn't really care about their families. That's one. Number 2, every time you hear the Western media speak about Israel, they keep bringing in, well, they want all the hostages to be released, right? Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have concerns for the hostages, but you're continuously seeing people dying, innocent people dying by the hundreds. But that doesn't mean anything to you. You're still going to stipulate, we want these hostages to be... Why not just bring a ceasefire and then negotiate afterward? But no, they're always going to put that caveat in there. We want all the hostages released. And they know that is not going to happen.
I wish it could happen so all of this nonsense could stop.
Then negotiate afterward, but no.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Hi. Go ahead, caller.
Yes. Some time ago, I called in about, and not me, but others as well, I called in about a lady named Jennifer Lee, who works on the beach. And she was prevented by the government. Well, according to her, she was prevented by the government from walking on the beach because she would do massage and so on the beach. And she said while others were permitted, she was not permitted to walk on the beach. And then sometime later I spoke to her, and what I got from her is that it seemed that the things at that time subsequently had resolved. But even after that as well, as a matter of fact, I think the 25th was the last time I spoke to her, and she said, you know, things while she may have thought in the past things might have resolved, they really ain't, because she is still again being permitted from going on the beach to do her living, massaging and that sort of stuff. No, the beaches are not privately owned; they are government owned. We all know that. And so, because they're government owned, I don't think that the government, provided what she's saying is true, provided that is the case, I don't think that government should be discriminating against anybody from going on the beach to make their living. Once they're doing it orderly and decently, I don't think the government should be discriminating against anyone from doing their job on the beach. So if that is the case with her, once she hasn't caused any trouble or anything like that, I think the government should allow her to continue to make her living on the beach, doing the massaging and that sort of stuff. And she said the tourists them just commend her and that sort of stuff. So
well, we're hearing you've got to be very careful because I remember you brought this up and then you came back and you said it seems as if the things have been alleviated.
Yes, you're right.
Now it's back again that
because
things are.
Because at the time it seemed to
but,
be that way too.
But that is what I'm saying. I am saying that this individual or these individuals have got to be consistent. It's either that it's not working for you or it's working for you. You can't have us, let's say the media, and you come one day and you say it isn't working, then you come another day and you say it's working, and you've got to be consistent, because then you put us in a position where, look, we are responsible here. When we get in front of this microphone, what we disseminate out there is very, very important to the climate out there. So individuals, because listen, Greg, there are individuals, I'm not saying it is so with this lady, but there are individuals who will go cause problems but don't bring to you their side of the situation. Then people might try to work things out with them. They go back, they have an attitude. Again, I'm not saying it's this lady.
Right.
And because of that attitude, problems come up. Then they run back and they say, well, you know what? Because we're looking at it like this. It's either it's working or it isn't working. This off and on thing, we can't run with it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand. And that is why you hear me using a lot of ifs.
Yes.
That is why you hear me using a lot of ifs. Apparently to her, after we made the complaint, she said that it seemed to her, well, that they started to allow her to come back on the beach again. You see, so that's why she thought things was okay again, because they started to allow her to come back on the beach again. But then, in no time, they stop her again. So that's why you hear me using a lot of ifs.
Yes.
A lot of ifs. If they are discriminating against her,
so then it means
unreasonably, they should stop it.
But here's the other side of it. Let's be hypothetical. You weren't allowed, then because the media, something was expressed, you were allowed back. Why then aren't you allowed again? It could be that you are causing a problem. You understand what I'm saying?
All of that is possible.
Yes. So I'm not saying that is the case, but you and I were well aware. We've seen people who come and tell you a story, and when you see videos of what really happened, you say, wow. You understand? So
that is quite true.
Yes.
That is quite true. Quite true. That is why, again, I use a lot of ifs. If this is the case, if that is the case, because I personally am not okay with it. All I'm just saying that this is what she told me. So therefore, if this is the case, or if that is the case, that is what I'm constantly saying. And I'm saying if it is the case that they are unreasonably discriminating against her, they should bring end to it and do the right thing. If, again,
here's what I'm going to make an input. If it is that sometimes they're trying to accommodate her, she has to look out and see if she has an attitude or she's creating something why one time they allow her, another time they're not. You understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it
But
works.
could I quickly say something?
Yes, we have another
where
caller
is-
waiting. Go ahead.
Yeah, where Israel is concerned, Israel is able to do what it is able to do with all due respect, because Trump, Biden, Obama, and so on has enabled Israel to do what they're doing. And because of that, Israel is doing what they are doing. And a lot of the blame goes on the American presidents and administrations, because that's what I'm saying. Israel is enabled by them to do the wrongs and the evils that they are doing.
Yeah.
You know, South Africa ain't enabling them, so I wouldn't say the whole world. Because South Africa
Well, that is why I
Excuse me.
tend to say that is why I tend to say the West. But yes, I get your point.
Okay, Quinn. Thank
you. Yeah, I thought we had another caller, but they have gone. Yeah, this is really look. If let's say the rest of the world, Britain, Canada, France, and so, if they were to emphatically say, look, this is enough is enough, man. You know what I mean? You would see some pressure, but they keep saying, well, the United States is. The United States is the leader in the world, and and then they're going to quote something from Trump. I mean, come on, man. Take a
But do you
stance.
realize too, Quint, him and Putin are supposed to meet in Alaska concerning Ukraine, and Ukraine said no, none of that's gonna happen. They need to bring him to the table too. Trump is basically gonna say, "Oh, you could take that land and be at peace.
Yeah.
You can't give away stuff that's not yours.
Well.
Just like how I can't give away my parents' things, I can't give away my sister's things or my brother's things. They're not mine. So why are they gonna meet without the president of Ukraine? Why?"
This president of the United States.
What's happening?
I could be wrong, but this president of the United States, so far, he has shown that he will do certain deals that are quite
Underhanded
questionable.
deals, yeah.
That might be benefiting him. We're not sure. Okay. So let me see if I can get this caller. Hello, caller.
Yes, Megan. One of the things we have to unfortunately be aware of is the fact that we have some cruel people in the world.
You couldn't
and,
have said,
some
it
of them,
better.
Some of them are leaders.
You couldn't have said it better. That is the truth.
Evil and cruel people.
Yeah.
And to use October 7th, when you had that massacre of Israelis,
Yeah.
to
1,200.
take it out on children, who had absolutely no say in the matter,
Yeah.
and feel that is okay. That has to be cruelty.
It has to be.
You
It
know,
is.
But having said that, it so happens that this war is happening on, I forget what anniversary it is, of Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yes, I heard that recently.
Right.
Yeah.
When 100 and something thousand people just perished just like that.
And I'm glad you brought that point, because when I heard it recently, I also heard that Israel was at the discussion, and Israel has not said yea or nay whether they have atomic weapons, but yet still they're at the table. So that means, you understand? Go ahead.
Yeah, and the thing is, right, one may well have asked, well, the U.S. had this weapon, why didn't they drop it on some atoll or uninhabited place somewhere to show the Japanese that, listen, we have this, you better surrender. Because obviously they had superior weaponry now.
Yeah.
But to do it not once but twice.
But it comes back to what you said. There are vicious people who are, unfortunately, are in positions of leadership. That is what it comes down to. They wanted to send a message that resulted in blood and lives.
Yeah, because I think that was the reason given, that if they did something like that, just exploded somewhere which was uninhabited, the Japanese would feel that they're weak. They won't use that. It's too dangerous a weapon to use against civilians. So they had to prove a point. And I'm getting the impression now it's the same thing, because I just saw a report this morning where I think it was Graham, I think it is, U.S. Either congressman or senator, senator. He said, he reminded us that the U.S. essentially bombed Japan and the Germans, okay, and then built them back.
Yeah.
So basically, he's saying Israel is doing the same thing. You're going to essentially destroy. Well, the difference is that they didn't bomb the whole of Germany or the whole of Japan, but Netanyahu seems intent on just displacing the
But
country.
I don't even think it's displacing. He just wants to kill everybody.
But here's the rub, Mr. McMahon. You see that point you just made about building back? That has been, if you go back in history, ever since Europe has started this colonialism thing, that is what they have done. They destroy you and then they make their massive amount of wealth by building back and using you as the machinery.
But are they going to use them, though? I think they just want to get rid of all of them. They want to clear the land.
With the Palestinian, it's a different thing. He wants to just get rid of them.
Yeah, he just wants to get rid of all, that whole generation. I'm not saying what the Palestinians did were right. They killed 1,200. They held 251 hostage. But 61,000 people has since been murdered and killed in Palestine because of
innocent people. And you're still making noise about the few hostages you're making noise about the few hostages that are still in captivity, but you're continuously killing innocent
people, yeah, including the media now.
Yeah.
But even their allies are now saying that they don't want no part of this, because Australia is the latest one to join.
I saw that this morning on the news.
Yeah, but Australia's talking about September. We can't wait till September. By September, they might be wiped out. What are we doing to wait until September?
That's a good point, because again, sometimes I question these delayed points, because I think Britain recently said they would, and again, it was a backdated time. So sometimes I wonder if they're not intentionally doing this because they want to see the eradication of these people, because they themselves will in some way benefit when it comes to rebuilding.
I don't know. This year's General Assembly is going to be interesting, because most likely Gaza is going to take front and center. I have no doubt that because the Israel knew about this particular Al Jazeera journalist before.
Yeah.
So they could have taken him out at any time. It's interesting that they do it now when they are about to expand the war in Gaza.
Yeah.
Right, because the Palestinian representative at the meeting yesterday at the United Nations, they made the point that, okay, Israel is saying we're exaggerating the amount of destruction and the starvation and the killing and so on that's taking place there. They were letting foreign journalists, just let them in, okay, to verify.
But Mr. McMahon,
The very next day, they target the journalists. I mean, that's got to be more than correct.
But you know that 186 of journalists have already been confirmed killed since the start of the Gaza, that war.
That is the point I was going to make. How much times every time something happens, Israel makes a foolish excuse, and we hear silence for a while. Then something happened, they make a foolish excuse. They say we apologize, we didn't, and then it happens
again. They knew where they were,
and it
as
keeps
the man
happening
says,
over and
targeted.
over.
They were in front of the hospital.
Imagine
you're going to bomb a hospital where sick people are, hurt people are.
We have another person online. Don't hang up, Mr. McMahon. Hello, caller.
Yes, good morning to you guys, man.
Good morning.
Good morning to Max and the
going on into the other caller there. Me personally, you know, when you see wrong, don't condone it. The way how I am, I stand up against wrong and stand up against corruption immediately when I see it. Because if you don't, it festers and it gets worse for the perpetrator and the victims as well. We see what happened with this T. case. At the Gaza with these Palestinians, I don't care who is coming forward right now. They sat aside and watched 60,000 people get killed.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I'm not going to say that it's too late to come forward now, but I'm going to say they are full of it. And you know what it means? It starts with an S. They're full of S.
Look, when we look at certain things that are happening in other places around the world, you see how quick they jump to put sanctions on you for minor things compared to this taking of lives. But yet still Israel keeps getting a pat and a pat and a pat and keeps killing people. And no wonder Israel is going to target Al Jazeera, because Al Jazeera seems to be one of the few media who brings, you know, the real picture.
They were living among the Palestinians. They were living in tent. It's in a tent they attacked you.
Yeah. So.
It's a tent they attacked
And
you.
by the hospital
what was
too.
What was even more obnoxious was the fact that Netanyahu said that when criticizing France and Britain and Canada and Australia, basically said they know that what we're doing is right, but they're responding to their population.
Yeah.
The populations are emotional, and so they're responding to them. Well, of course, they must respond to the population. They're supposed to be democracies. And any ordinary person looking at this carnage, the first thing they think, hey, that could easily have been me, you know, right? And so they must feel some empathy to innocent people being slaughtered like this, you know? And Trump's latest thing is, well, it's up to Israel, as if to give the impression that, well, if it works out, great. If it doesn't, well, I had nothing to do with it.
Look,
Israel.
here's another point. Sometimes we, the people, the citizens of a place, have got to be very careful who we elect. I remember years ago when Netanyahu was the leader of Israel, right? Before he lost and then he was returned. I saw the trend the man wanted to go on. Then he lost. Then you go and you bring him back. And now that he's back, he's making sure. It's just the same like with Germany. Germany had Hitler. Hitler went on a vendetta. Then Germany lost. They put him in prison, but they allowed him to stay in prison and use his propaganda. They brought him back, reinstated him, and you see what happens?
Yeah, great point there. Great point there, Quinn, because I'm going to tell you right now, if the rest of the world sat aside and watched this carnage for this long, if America and Israel, they are having behind the scenes talk to finish up this job, and I'm going to tell you, if them man go forward to finish up this job, because in their minds, they are hungry to finish this job, because this is as closest that they ever got.
They want to finish this job.
And trust me,
they want to finish this job. Yeah.
And if them man initiates finishing this job, trust me, the rest of the world is not going to stop them, because they ain't stopped them already before.
No.
Remember now, we're talking about a world we're talking about one world superpower and another power that's almost a world power too. So if these two nations go to finish this job, I'm telling you all, nobody gonna be able to stop them, because they didn't have the balls and the guts to stop them already. But my interest this morning, going forward real quick, is big uprising in Ivory Coast right now as we speak. And I'm going to tell you that uprising in Ivory Coast is going to spread to Cameroon, because it's the same situation going on in Cameroon. An elder statesman trying to seek another term. When these guys are almost 100 years and being in Ivory Coast, these leaders have been leaders since in the 80s. And I'm going to tell you, they're going to get toppled. The protest that I'm seeing in Ivory Coast is going to jump to Cameroon. But I want to see protests in Nigeria and Ghana. And I'm going to tell you, Quinn, in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, I personally want to see the people make a statement to the politicians just like this. Because the politicians of the day in St. Kitts and Nevis, they got the people on stage. They're look at what we're going through with this year report. The Prime Minister and the Premier is holding the country hostage. There's been so much complaints from the Premier over on the Nevis side that numbers were omitted, that this is to be continued. They're going to continue this world, this spear shear thing for another 40 years. They can't get it right up to now when it's spelled out by the Constitution. And the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, they need to make a statement to these politicians. I want to see a protest happening in St. Kitts and Nevis peacefully. As peacefully as we can.
I mean, but Burl, what can the people do? Because you see, what
the people can mobilize. They're going to
kick the can. They're intent on kicking the can down the road.
Yeah.
Let that be somebody else's problem. We're dealing with realities now. Both the leaders, NIA and the federal government, they are concentrating on trying to get re-elected. That's their concern. I am convinced that they're not concerned with solving this issue.
No.
And the longer they prolong it out, the longer they
you're right about that. That's what I'm saying.
But here's the thing, Burl. I hear what you're saying, but we has also got to be very careful, because depending on protests and how they go, depending on the level of agitation that happens, depending on how big the protest is, it could go into something we don't want. So my thing is, we're not fools. Observe what is happening, and when it comes down to election, then make your decision then.
I agree with that too as well.
Yeah. I mean,
the people don't have the courage to come forward, so we just got to wait until the next election, it seems.
But it's not that the people don't have the courage. The people are tired of being the ones who go out there, put their lives on the line for people who are going to get in there and then do the same old, same old.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
That's it.
Right? The people have lost confidence.
People are wiser now, you know.
Process.
Yeah.
Right? Well, it might not just be that they're wiser. I think in a lot of cases they're more disillusioned. They're giving up and they're thinking, oh, they're all the same. Nothing is going to change.
So that
right? I think they've lost confidence in themselves.
So it then indirectly means that they're wiser to the trend then.
So I guess to expend energy on not to expend energy.
They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. Yeah.
So, Quint, while I got Mac Mahon on the other side, man, I just want to say thanks to him for introducing that word, sacrosanct, to the AG.
To do repeat that.
Repeat what you said, bro.
Repeat that. I didn't get it.
Sacrosanct.
Oh,
sacrosanct.
okay.
Mac Mahon can drop that on you right now, man. Very important and valuable. That space here report is, and we see how they are playing games with that report. So, like he said just now, their objective right now is to just win for the next election. But the people got to pay attention to that. And I'll leave it there for now, man. Great discussions, man. Keep up the good work, guys.
It's up to me. It's up to the opposition to make these issues.
I agree.
At the next general election.
Yeah.
Right. Don't let people forget that these are really important issues that have to be addressed. Sure, I mean, most people, most voters are interested in bread and butter issues. You know, the cost of groceries, rent, how I'm going to live, how I'm going to feed and educate the kids, those kinds of things. No doubt about it. People are generally voting in self-interest. But it's for the opposition to show that if these things are not addressed, then the other things that people are really concerned about, okay, those are not going to be addressed to the full extent that they should be either.
No.
Right? And that's the challenge for the opposition. You know?
And speaking of opposition, 2 Sundays on a straight, if I'm not mistaken, the program that is supposed to come on here has not been on, and that is a faction of the opposition. So the opposition is missing in action. And I remember I was right out there at the front desk when Azad came up and he asked me, he said, so I understand, Quint, that you said that the opposition isn't really living up. And I said, I hold to what I said. but then he goes missing 2 weeks on a straight. You understand what I'm saying?
You got to be consistent. I mean, you got to be tenacious.
So even here's my point.
One of the things.
Here's my point. Even if Azad knew he was going to take a bit of a holiday, as Cortensia might be saying, he wants a bit of a break. So you want to tell me he couldn't get somebody to fit in?
Somebody else?
You understand what I'm saying? You are the opposition.
Keep the talk going.
Keep the talk going. You
well,
have
if he's
no
listening, I
excuse.
hope he takes your advice. Yeah.
And it's so obvious. I mean, I am sure other people notice the same thing too.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they should have taken when Team Unity people were trying to get people to appreciate the what was involved in the stakes involved in the election. They kept up the pressure. It was unending.
Yeah.
Right? And that should have been essentially the example for any other opposition who intend to, because there are in fact issues existing now that needs to be rectified, needs to be looked at.
This morning I heard on the news about the SIDF and that the Caribbean body are going to try to get together so that they have, rather than me undermining you and you undermining me, that they're going to set a standard, a rate and that kind of stuff. So yes, there are different issues that still need to be meted out.
Yes, they need to be thrashed out, and you know, no opposition should be giving any government a free rein to do as it likes, right? Because you could bet your life, politicians being as they are, they're going to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Right. So they owe it to the people to be what a strong opposition should be.
Yeah.
Right. Provide an alternative, right, and keep the government accountable, keep them in check.
Yeah.
Right. Otherwise, you're going to have. You can bet your life you're going to have abuse of power.
But then again, to come back to that word sacrosanct, it seems as if though whatever the incumbent do is sacrosanct because.
Well, no. Well, I use sacrosanct in terms of the Constitution, suggesting that the Constitution, there are some things in the Constitution that should be upheld regardless. That's what I meant about it being sacrosanct.
I didn't know what context you use it in, but I use it in my context there, because you know sacrosanct tend to mean that it should be on a level that should be respected.
You don't touch it.
Yes,
respect it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You don't go changing it willy-nilly and that kind of thing.
So
that's exactly how it's used. This, as it is right now, we're more into transactional type politics where boy, it's what you can get away with.
Yeah.
You know, it's what's convenient, right? And there are no principles. I mean, it was Gandhi, I think, who said politics without principle is one of the 7 deadly sins, or
and
something like that.
that is why I use it in this context to say it seems as if what the incumbent does is sacrosanct because the opposition doesn't even want to touch it.
this opposition better get its act together. Maybe they just want to sit this one out and you know, hope that next time, or hope that the incumbent make some serious mistakes and they get in by default, pretty much like how Unity imploded last time, something like that.
Yeah.
Right. That is not providing.
That is not the way. That's not the way it should go, because that's like waiting for, wanting results without putting in the work.
Without putting in the work, exactly.
Yeah.
But then sometimes the opposition goes in and does the exact same thing.
That is what Mr. McMahon has been saying.
But that's the whole point. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There are so many issues now that they can be attacking, that they can be saying that we would not do things this way. There is a better way.
Yeah.
Right? There are so many issues like that. But they're not doing it as if to say, Well, when we get it, we got to do the same
we
thing
do the
too,
same.
Yeah.
That is why I use the word
And that's
sacrosanct.
sad.
That is why I stole your word, Mr. McMahon.
By all means, I don't mind one bit, even though it's not my word.
So
but we all understand. We all understand what it means in our context.
Yes,
and, yeah.
Well,
all right then.
Yeah, we're going to take a bit of a commercial break, and when we come back, we wrap up Island Tea for today.
Found the sound 98.9 FM.
Got itchy palms? That's a sign money could be coming your way with Scratch and Win from Caribbean Lottery. It's the easiest way to win instantly. No waiting, no fuss. With tickets starting from just $2 up to $20. Win over $35 million in prizes. The higher the price, the bigger the prize. So scratch today for your chance to win up to $200,000. Available at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be 21 years and older to play.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
We're back on Island Tea. And Quint, we have the touches before we go. Let me turn it up a bit since everybody's talking about it.
Said the NIA cabinet has had 2 meetings on the submitted so-called fair share report prepared by the World Bank for the federal government of St. Kitts and Nevis. The Premier said they are compiling observations to share with the federal government, but he disclosed that the report offers 4 scenarios for the sharing of revenue and pointed to some concerns the NIA cabinet has had on the report.
We have looked at those scenarios. I believe there's been consensus in the Nevis cabinet as to which would be the preferred scenario. But our concern about this particular report is twofold. One, that the numbers that the report uses, we are unsure as to where those numbers come from. So there are some numbers that the report speaks to in terms of how much Nevis has received, for example, from CBI over the years, which doesn't match the numbers that we have in terms of what we have in fact received. So we don't know who provided those numbers. And the second thing is that we are also unsure that the overall numbers for CBI as reflected in this report are in fact correct. We have the further difficulty, as I would say difficulty number 2, in that some of the proposed deductions for purposes of calculating what is left for a fair share arrangement, that those were not set out with sufficient particularity. So they just say, for example, national obligations. What those national obligations are, we are not quite sure because they were not set out with a level of specificity. So we have, of course, the high-level summary. We will be engaging in terms of drilling down into the numbers. That is why it has taken some time. I know that the public has been anxious, the people of Nevis have been anxious, but we are, I think, now making good progress, and we would hope to have that final report. I know that as of yesterday, that report was being finalized. I did not, however, get it in time for today, but I can say that the cabinet of the NIA has had 2 sessions on this matter, and we have come that report was being, but I can say that the Cabinet of the NIA has had 2 sessions on this matter, and we have come to some concluded views that we hope to share with the federal government to try now to move this process forward.
According to Premier Brantley, what is required now is for the federal government and
this fair share thing, because some of the statements I heard there by Mark Brantley are, quite questioning for me.
Yeah.
So we're going to see about that. Yeah. Thanks for that bit of a thing, because you not only came in a day early to save my breath, my voice, but you've also given me something that I can carry into the next session. So, like I said, the Creator sent you to.
I said I wasn't going to tell you. I was just going to surprise you.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Very, very good surprise there.
You're welcome. And thanks to our listeners. Same place, same time tomorrow. It's always a pleasure. I'm happy to be back. Have a great Monday, a productive one at that, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Same to you.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
More than 42 million cars from 19 different car companies are being recalled for faulty airbag inflators.